Will and Kate are like behind closed doors is it's a masterclass in manipulation. It really is.
Okay.
Look how she sets herself up while just innocently commenting on how Will and Kate are behind closed doors. Watch this, 24.
Even when Will and Kate came over and I had met her for the first time, they came over for dinner. I remember I was in ripped jeans and I was barefoot. It's like I was a hugger. I've always been a hugger. I didn't realize that that is really jarring for a lot of Brits.
What do you mean by that?
I guess I'd started to understand very quickly that the formality on the outside carried through on the inside. That there is a forward-facing way of being. And then you close the door and you go, oh, great. Okay, we can relax now.
That doesn't make sense.
But that formality carries over on both sides. And that was surprising to me.
Sophie?
Well, this woman is just a master manipulator. It's the entire reason that they left the royal family in the first place. They constantly banged on about saying, we want privacy, we want privacy. Well, I don't think a 6-part Netflix series is privacy, nor is an Oprah interview. What she really wanted was control.
What?
Because she is a manipulator. She wanted to be able to manipulate people, and she couldn't manipulate the press in the UK. That's why she was angry. She couldn't force people to write the stories that she wanted them to write. So therefore, she left to get privacy so that she could write the stories in her own perspective.
Are you sure about that?
This entire documentary has stemmed from a hatred and a jealousy of Kate. That is the reason this entire thing exists. And the entire problems with the royal family and Harry and Meghan exist. She cannot stand Kate because Kate is beautiful, she is elegant, and she is going to be queen, and she is the centre of attention. And Meghan will never be the centre of attention.
I said, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait, first of all, you're not going to speed past that like you didn't just say what you just said.
And they speak about in this documentary about the formality. Well, no surprise. It's the royal family. And there's a hierarchy in this family. Well, again, no surprise. It's the royal family. And she perpetuates this narrative for the entire documentary of, I didn't know what I was getting myself into. Well, whose fault is that?
Boy.
Yours, because this is the royal family. It's not some irrelevant family sitting in Alaska. Like, everybody knows what the royal family do. They know how it works.
No one believes that. No one believes that stupid claim that she didn't know what she was getting herself into. I've played this. Piers Morgan came on my show after the Oprah interview and we talked about this, but I queued it up for you gals. Now we have video. I don't show my kids on TV because unlike these two, I actually don't want to exploit them.
What do you mean by that?
But I'll show you this video. My daughter Yardley, her face has got a gray square over it, so you can't see her, but you can hear her and you can see her gestures. And this is my daughter Yardley. This is like a few weeks before I went over to cover the royal wedding.
Okay.
And I was just explaining to her, Mom's going to be away for a week. I'm going to cover this royal wedding. And she had heard about it in school and she understands the basics. And she had just turned 7. I think she was either late 6 or early 7 in this video. Everyone understood what Meghan Markle was getting herself into. And here is the proof. SOT 21.
Here we go again.
Why would someone want to live in a royal family? They boss you around. It's like you go to a whole different country and they have to boss you around.
Yeah, right.
Like, you have to eat with your left hand. You have no choice. You have to. And I don't think that's fair. Because they've planned out your whole life for you.
You got me.
Right.
And you already have your life perfectly in New York City.
That's true.
And then you go to England, and surprisingly, you don't like your life because someone else makes your choices. And it's not fair.
Okay.
I totally agree with you. I love what you said, Yards.
Thanks.
Adorable.
Come on now, dog.
Even a 6-year-old could see it coming.
Well, this is the thing. I think, even a child can see, and I think Meghan can see. But then again, we see that Meghan has this obsession with Disney princesses. We're always hearing about her, talking about, the Disney girl that got her voice back, Ariel, right? And then she wants to be compared to Diana, which is diametrically opposite because Diana didn't use her voice. Diana used her ears. Diana listened and listened. And that's what people loved about her. But Meghan had this Disney idea of what a princess is. And thinking it's all going to be, you know, red carpet events and like a Kardashian reality show and the best designer clothes. And what she maybe didn't realize that it was going to be duty. And she would have to go to parts of the country that she might not like, that weren't glamorous, cut a tape, speak to people, but listen to what these people had to say about their lives, listen to what they were going through, about the work that they were in, not being lectured about net zero and green energy by Meghan Markle.
Okay, I'm listening. You have my attention.
You know, Meghan would have to listen. So maybe that bit she didn't realize she would have to do. But as far as curtsying to the Queen, come on, I mean, she was supposed to have done a degree in international relations or international studies. You know, you curtsy to the Queen, you bow when you're in Japan. There's certain things in certain countries that are marks of respect. And if you have done studies in international relations, then you know, she should know that. And
Stop it. Get some help.
And as if Harry wouldn't have said, here's how it's done. Like he may not curtsy. I don't know what he does to the Queen, but I'm sure he's seen a curtsy 10,000 times. But I think that you ladies are underestimating the sacrifice this poor woman made during her stint over in your country. I give you, for example, the fashion. Look what this poor girl had to go through. SOT 28.
Most of the time that I was in the UK,
trying to compose myself. I can't, like the baby.
Is he all right upstairs?
Eesh, Sophie, come on. That was wrong.
This entire documentary, I'm sorry, it's just so pathetic. I mean, we have one of the most privileged people in the entire world. I mean, people in my country, we are literally, like, our homes are freezing. We're choosing between heating and eating. There's a war in Ukraine. And here we have the Duchess of Montecito crying about how hard her life is because she had to wear beige.
That doesn't make sense.
Duchess
happened.
She's not oppressed. She's not a victim. It's just nonsense.
Fact.
Okay, can we spend a minute? You mentioned Meghan Markle. I do want to spend 1 minute on her. There was a report out, you know, there's a British author named Valentine Roy, I think it is.
Okay.
And he just released a book in the UK called Valentine Lowe, called Courtiers. And it's about the royal family and her.
Nice.
And he reports in this book that Meghan Markle, who landed on the cover of Vanity Fair for no reason other than she was Harry's girlfriend. And Vanity Fair doesn't put on the cover, you know, somebody who is the 6th lowest ranking person in the show Suits, which nobody's watching. That's not how she got it. She got it because she was dating Harry. And the caption under her picture, it's a beautiful picture, is she's just wild about Harry. And it's a take on that show, on that song. I'm just wild about Harry. Harry's wild about me. Whatever.
Is he all right upstairs?
Okay. She thought it was racist. She complained. This person who's like out of nowhere gets featured on Vanity Fair. She was angry and she complained, according to Valentine, that it was a racist caption, demanded that they change it.
Why? Why?
Because apparently Judy Garland in 1939 sang this song while in blackface. Okay? So she suggested this was an attempt to diminish her as somebody who's mixed race. Meanwhile, this song goes back to like 1921 and has a long history. Apparently, it was written for an African-American show by an African-American songwriter.
Are you sure about that?
Anyway, everything, Andrew, everything is either racist or sexist or wrong when it comes to Meghan Markle, despite all of the enormous gifts that have been given to her and adulation that's been given to her. It's just back to my comment about the Kim Kardashian booze.
What do you mean by that?
I am cheering the downfall in this woman's approval rating. I'm cheering the authors who are bringing these stories out so that people can see how petty and shallow and small these people are who have taken the national stage.
Here we go again.
Yeah, I increasingly, as I get older too, the theme I sort of grapple with is gratitude. In the West, we have so much incredible advantages.
Okay.
Both over the rest of the world and in human history, that to be this full of resentment, this constant looking for offense or for harm, is a sort of mental disorder. The one, I mean, as a gay person, I could go through life every day looking for a slight. When someone assumes I'm straight to feel offended, when they make some sort of joke, or when they assume that no one I mean, I could go crazy. But you decide not to. You decide so much has been given. I am so blessed in so many ways. I just let this stuff go and focus on the positive. It's as if for example, it's as if the more equal we become, the more fanatical we become about the small inequalities that remain.
Fact.
That we lose perspective, that we're unable to take a deep breath and say, look, I just got to be nearly in the royal family on the cover of Vanity Fair. I have gazillions of dollars. I can just go and live my life. I don't have to be constantly seeking the victim position or seeking to be the center of everyone's attention all the time. Just look around yourself one day and realize what you already have and be glad for it. I don't want to sound trite, but I do think that a lot of the problems in our world, a lot of the extraordinary anxieties, a lot of the roiling tensions on the web and on Twitter, are all a function of our losing perspective, that we actually do have it really good most of the time, certainly compared with anywhere else and in history. And we should be more focused on being grateful for that than being constantly extremely angry at all the tiny little things we don't have.
It's so true. I love what you said. I wrote it down. The more equal we become, the more fanatical we become about the small inequalities that remain. Well said. So here's something you may not know about me. I hate spreadsheets. Hate. Abby will deal with them, but I see it. I'm like, oh no, I won't even look at one. They make my mind glaze over. I see it's happening right now, just thinking about them. Boring. And you may be like me. If so, I have got the solution for you. If your business is still using spreadsheets or emails to manage important sales commissions, there is another way, a better way.
Wait for it. Here it comes. Almost there.
Or what if your support and your operations staff is feeling totally stretched and unhappy and stressed out? Are your salespeople constantly trying to piece together the puzzle for what are we getting paid? What's the potential? Like, what we're missing? What do we need to know? Well, Clear Comp has got the answer for you. They have the solution.
Okay, I'm listening. You have my attention.
Clear Comp is a one-stop shop for your business to manage sales commission documentation like commission plan info, product info, and facts. It's basically a sales operations and sales enablement dream platform. ClearComp works seamlessly with your billing, CRM, ERP, and HR systems, all with the goal of helping your org become more efficient and helping your sales team become more productive. Their dashboards and tools help you identify low-hanging fruit, what opportunities are hot, where you can improve that you hadn't even been thinking about. Boring. And as a salesperson, no more black box commission statements and no more hunting around for the latest and greatest decks and one-sheeters. Modernize your sales organization today by visiting clearcomp.com. That's ClearComp.com. Book a demo. Tell them I sent you. You're welcome. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.